Broadcasting live from the Albay PIO News Center, providing you the most exclusive news update from all over the province. This is 12 o'clock Newsbreak. In the local scene, Provincial Administrator Cedric D. Dipe has advised that class suspensions be based on scientific data. According to Dipe, class suspensions not driven by science could compromise the quality of education for students. He further explained that immediately canceling classes due to prolonged rain could result in more days of suspension than actual classroom attendance. Meanwhile, the installation of rain gauges in every school resurfaced and was recommended by the official to help determine the threshold for suspending classes during weather disturbances. In other story, the Albay Veterinary Office proudly welcomes 60 work immersion students from various schools across the province of Albay. 39 students are from Ororo National High School in Ginubatan, Albay, 13 students from Manito National High School, 8 students from Bicol Regional Science High School. The AVO provided the students with an overview of its programs, projects, and activities and introduced its various divisions. To emphasize the importance of professionalism, the AVO established house rules and provided a structured timetable to help students navigate their work immersion experience. Throughout the program, the AVO aims to equip students with the knowledge, skills, attitudes, and competencies essential for personal growth and development. In the national scene, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. is urging the government and other stakeholders to prioritize the development of the semiconductor and electronics industry, citing its significant economic benefits for the country. During a meeting at Malacanang Palace with the Private Sector Advisory Council's Education and Jobs Sector Group, President Marcos discussed updates on previous suggestions and new ideas related to workforce development, education, and the semiconductor and electronics sector. The President emphasized the importance of providing semiconductor companies with incentives similar to those given to other businesses and to ensure swift implementation. He proposed the use of one internal revenue regulation. The group suggested reviewing the internal rate of return associated with Create More Law, which would include offering incentives to the semiconductor industry. The group also presented the roadmap for the nation's electronics and semiconductor sectors to President Marcos. Furthermore, the PSAC proposed the creation of a national education and workforce development plan, which the President endorsed. In other story, President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. met with Secretary John Vic Remulla of the Department of Interior and Local Government at Malacanang to discuss the results of the DILG's budget review under the fiscal year 2025 General Appropriations Act concerning the National Expenditure Program. According to Remulla, President Marcos urged that the funds removed from the bicameral committee be reinstated to support the DILG's critical activities. The DILG budget review indicated that a significant portion of the agency's budget has been cut during the bicameral process. Remulla also stated that 500 million pesos was allocated for the PNP's Intelligence Fund and 1 billion pesos was set aside for the acquisition of all-terrain amphibious rescue vehicles for the Bicol region. Overall, the DILG's budget grew from 279.46 billion pesos in the National Expenditure Program to 280.10 billion in the 2025 General Appropriations Act, reflecting an increase of 643.59 million pesos when combined with its affiliated agencies. In other news, The Philippines aims to strengthen collaborations with other countries as it prepares for participation in the 2025 World Economic Forum. Romualdez emphasized that despite the ongoing global challenges posed by conflicts, the Philippines remains committed to forging agreements. The Philippine delegation at the World Forum will include Romualdez, Trade Secretary Maria Cristina Roque, Finance Secretary Ralph Recto, and representatives from the private sector. According to Romualdez, the delegation's goal is to maintain the momentum established by President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. during his attendance at the World Economic Forum in 2023. Before the World Economic Forum in 2023, government officials indicated that Marcos would present the Maharlika Investment Fund, MIF, which was still in the planning stages, to the international community. Marcos officially established the MIF in July 2023 by signing Republic Act No. 11954. And in the news outside the country, at least 76 people were killed and 51 injured in an early morning blaze at a hotel in Kartalkaya resort of Bolu province, according to Turkey's Interior Minister Ali Yerlikaya. Local businesses and schools started posting death notices for students and staff once some of the victims' identities were revealed, including some 5th grade students aged 10 to 11. Authorities reported that as the hotel's upper floors caught fire, some desperate guests attempted to escape by jumping out the windows. Governor Abdulaziz Aydin informed the state-run Anadolu agency that around 234 people were staying at the hotel at the time and revealed that 2 victims died after jumping from the building in panic. According to Aydin's office, at least 30 fire trucks and 28 ambulances were dispatched to the scene, along with 267 emergency personnel. As a safety measure, authorities evacuated nearby hotels in the resort, relocating guests to other accommodations in the Bulu area. And finally, in the news outside the country, Yoon Suk-yeol, the impeached president of South Korea, made his first appearance before the Constitutional Court and vowed to assist the judges who would determine his removal from office. He was ultimately removed from his position through impeachment. In a separate criminal investigation, he was arrested on insurrection charges, making him the first sitting president in South Korean history to face such charges. Thousands of demonstrators, both supporters and opponents of Yoon, gathered outside the Constitutional Court, which is currently deliberating whether to uphold his impeachment. Concerns were raised about whether Yoon had instructed top military leaders to drag out parliaments to prevent them from voting against his declaration of martial law. Court spokesperson Shun Jae-hyun informs reporters that Yoon's legal team has requested to bring at least 24 individuals as witnesses, including various authorities involved in the election. And that's all for the 12 o'clock news break, January 23, 2025. We'll be back tomorrow for more news updates. And thanks to our 12 o'clock news break writer, Albay Lurejo and Don Roquan. And on the technical side, Tad Bobis. Of course, our provincial information officer, Mary Luduca Castillo. And under the supervision of our governor, Baby Glenda Ongbungao, I am Greg Hallare. Thank you for subscribing.